Yo, what is up everybody? It is your favorite engineer, Drew, and we are back with another video. I know it's been a little bit, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from the usual. We're going to be reviewing this microphone right here. This is the Fifine Amplitank 3, and this was actually sent to me by Fifine. So shout out to Fifine for sending this over for me to review. Now, even though they sent this over for me to review, I'm still going to give you guys my honest feedback, let you guys know if it's worth it or not. As you guys know, my daily driver is pretty much this SM7B. We're going to see how this $70 Amplitank 3 stacks up against my $500 holy grail of a mic. So let's get into the video. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is the build quality of this microphone. Now, I was actually surprised with this microphone because picking it up, it actually has some weight to it. Like it feels pretty heavy. You can tell it's pretty sturdy overall. My one complaint would be kind of this knob right here. And unlike the SM7B where it has the knobs on both sides, so it keeps it tight, this only has it on the one side. So that could be a little concerning, but I don't think it's something that you would really worry about. Now, of course, when we compare it to the SM7B, I think the SM7B definitely has better build quality, but you could also buy like 5 of these for the price of this one microphone. Not to mention that most of the time you will need a cloud lifter or something to get the gain loud enough for this mic. That's one thing to take into account. As for build quality, the win, I would give it to the SM7B, of course. But remember, you got to think about the cost. And of course, in the cost category, I think this mic definitely takes the cake. So the Amplitank mic comes in at around $70, and not only does it feature your XLR input for more professional interface, it also includes a USB-C port. So if you wanted to plug this thing straight into your computer, you can easily do that, as well as it has a headphone port for monitoring audio straight out of the microphone into your headphones. So flexibility of this mic is super amazing. You will get some more features like the mute button, all that good stuff when you plug it in USB-C. All right, so let's get into what everybody really cares about, and that is the sound quality of this microphone. Now, this is kind of what the SMB sounds like. Now, I do have some processing, so I'm gonna bypass that processing real quick. So this is what the SM7B sounds like, completely raw, no plugins, just straight into FLstudio. I'm peaking around -15 decibels, and this is the raw sound. All right, so this is what the Amplitank 3 sounds like, completely raw. I try to keep the level around the same level, as well as the distance to my mouth the same. But this is what the Amplitank 3 is sounding like, straight into the DAW with no other plugins, just straight into my Quantum ES2 interface. All right, so now I enabled my normal processing for my YouTube videos, which is just compression, EQ, and a limiter. Super simple. So this is what the SM7B sounds like with my processing. Let's switch over to the Amplitank. All right, now we are on the Amplitank, and this is what this microphone sounds like with the same exact processing, so you can kind of hear the difference. I'm trying to keep them at the same distance again. So this is what it sounds like through my processing. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so that was my normal talking as I would in a YouTube video like this. That's what it sounds like. I do notice a brighter character in the Amplitank 3. This has that presence, and I like that because my SM7B typically has a darker sound characteristic. And for most of the time when I'm recording vocals, I want a brighter characteristic, so it does take a good amount of work with the SM7B. So I believe that with the Amplitank 3, it's going to take less work to get your vocals bright and popping through the mix. The only way we could tell is we do a test. So we're going to be using one of my vocal presets that you could get on my website, drewchavis.com, and see what the difference between these two microphones and the singing/rapping test sounds like. So let's do it. Let me bypass all the effects I have on this preset, but right now you guys are hearing the SMB going straight through my newest vocal preset. I will be releasing a video for this specific preset coming soon, so stay tuned for that, which is the LAROI Distant Strangers preset. What we're gonna do is we're gonna recreate the song Distant Strangers using this preset on the SM7B, see what it sounds like. Then we will switch over to the Amplitank 3, and then we're gonna bypass back and forth so you can hear what the difference between the vocals sounds like. Let's record the song. All right, so we got the SM7B going through the preset. Let's do LAROI's part. Twisting my words and bringing up the past, baby, you know that you better than that. I don't got time to deal with the drama. I walked the Chanel and I got you a bag. Promise that I would've never got involved if I knew I would get so attached. Promise that I would've never hit the road if I knew that you weren't coming back. Was it too much to ask, girl? You know that I had you. All right, so now we got the Fifine mic. I tried to gain match it, same exact preset. Let's do it. Twisting my words and bringing up the past, baby, you know that you better than that. I don't got time to deal with the drama. I walked the Chanel and I got you a bag. Promise that I would've never got involved if I knew I would get so attached. Promise that I would've never hit the road if I knew that you weren't coming back. Was it too much to ask, girl? You know that I had you. You know that I would've did anything. All right, so you guys just heard me record on both microphones, same exact preset. So let's listen. We're gonna bypass back and forth. First one's the SM7B. The second one is the Fifine. So let's hear what they're sounding like.
Twisting my words and bringing up the past, baby, you know that you better than that. I don't got time to deal with the drama. I wear the Chanel and I got you back. Promise it I would've never got a vote if I knew I would get so attached. Promise it I would've never hit the road if I knew that you weren't coming back.
All right, so you guys just heard what each microphone sounds like. Now keep in mind, you guys could probably hear in the recording, but this room is completely untreated. You can hear every single reflection. So I feel like this was a pretty good test on a lot of home studios out there, which I think this microphone is gonna cater towards. So is there a difference? Yes, I could definitely hear a difference. The main difference that I hear is the mid-range and kind of the low mids of the SM7B. Feel like they're just more consistent, I would say, than the Amplitank 3, but the Amplitank 3 definitely has a brighter characteristic. Now, this is my opinion, but I do really like the style of the Amplitank 3. And the thing that I find a lot with the SM7B is the darker tone. It kind of has a distinct sound that you kind of got to work with a lot in order to get that bright, airy sounding pop vocal like most of the modern tracks today. When I'm doing something like a YouTube video or a podcast, I do like that boomy characteristic, which I do find that in the SM7B, it does have a lot of that. And I find it to be easier to work with in that area. Amplitank 3 is an amazing microphone for the price, coming in at under $70 while it's on sale. I think normally it is $80. I think this is a great budget option for you. Now, do I think it sounds better than my SM7B? Very subjective question, but I think in some cases, put the emphasis on some cases, this thing will outperform the SM7B. Now, like I said, it's all personal preference. The fact that you can get multiple of these things for the price of one SM7B, I think makes it worth it. So once again, shout out to Fifine for sending out this microphone for me to review. I really appreciate it. And if you guys got any more questions on this microphone, comment down below and I got some answers for you. But once again, you could cop the template that I used in today's video on my website, drewchavis.com. So if you like the way it sounded, make sure you go cop that. Link in the description. It's available for only $14.99. There will be a video with this preset coming out very soon. Make sure you comment down below what type of video you want me to do next and what preset you want me to recreate next. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.